Welcome to DreamWeaver and Chill, and thanks for chilling with me. I have NaterFett, or whatever Nater type name he has. NaterFett, is that right?
It is indeed. Thank you for having me.
What are some other names you've had?
Oh, the names over the years. Been Master Nater. I like that one.
That's good.
I was Chief PD Patrol there for a while for Galactic Parking Enforcement. That was fun.
Something that the galaxy needs.
Yeah, that was back in the day when we were a part of that Sith crew. We had some good times there.
Lots of 501st, little things on people's names I've noticed. Those are all the old Sith guys, right?
Well, yeah, the 501st was they were all the Sith guys. Basically, it was a designation that we were part of Vader's Fist. That's a Star Wars reference, if anybody's familiar. The 501st was Darth Vader's personal, bodyguard security death crew. And so we adopted that name as part of that crew. So if you earned it, basically. At the time, we had Vader was the admiral of the group, and he would tell you when you were allowed to use it based on what your PD was and whether or not you were actively killing other ships.
I did not know that. I did not know it was that strict. I know Darth Blaze said it had to be like a Darth or something.
Everybody was encouraged to utilize a Star Wars name. And then the 501st was just a designation you added on there to indicate that you were willing to pop into a system and wipe out anybody you felt like it. And we did. A lot.
Now you know this. You know this very well, but maybe not everybody does. And I have to apologize first off, but I have history with Sith. You know what happened.
I do indeed. There was a lot of history with Sith, and I was actually looking forward to some of the questions you had about that.
I do, and I think you had more to do with it than you let on.
Oh, me?
Yeah, and I suspected it, and I just played along, and I handed it over, but I thought, okay, this is weird. But so the people who don't know this, Sith, correct me if I'm wrong on some of these points. Sith dropped the tag, became SEXC, sexy, right?
Oh, they were sexy for a while, yes.
Yeah, they were sexy. And at the same time, I was GOT, and my little one-man GOT. And one of the guys, I don't know his name, but he was sexy at the time. He PM'd me and said, "Hey, man, you should join Sexy." And I was like, "Oh, man, I don't know about that. I like where I'm at." And he was like, well, this is where he went off the rails. This is where he went wrong. He's like, "Oh, that's just some old dead alliance. You need to come over here." And I don't like people talking bad about GOT. So
sure.
I said, "Who is this guy? What is Sexy?" It sounds like EXC, like it's part of, I'm assuming they're part of EXC. And then I looked and I thought, well, that's weird. Sexy's there, but Sith's not around anymore. I wonder if it's available.
You stole the name.
And so I took the Sith tag.
You did.
And I believe, as a self-appointed chosen one, I feel like I brought balance to the Force.
You were the chosen one.
Where Anakin could not complete it, I completed the mission.
That group was having some internal struggles, and we had some shakeup on the Admiral, and it bounced around between 3 or 4 different people there for a minute, and Vader, who was, I believe, part of that group again. He was having some health issues, I think, and decided at that point he wasn't going to be part of the game. And there were some internal struggles within the group to determine who should be admiral. And that's when that name started bouncing around and changing a bit.
Well,
unfortunately, that's when they lost it.
Well, and I was fully, and honestly, I can be very honest about this. I was going to just get it and laugh and say, oh yeah, I disbanded the 501st and all this stuff. And then I was going to give it right back. But Darth Blaze, of course, we all know.
Yeah, Blaze was not happy with that decision of you.
He was not happy. And I try to tell him, I said, look, man, I
think it's still an itch on his backside that you had to begin with.
Well, that I pulled it off. Sorry. I'm slick. I can't help it. But there's a lot of EXC guys who are still mad. There's some EXC guys that are still mad about it. I don't know.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Maybe I ruined their master plan, but I eventually, the history, it got dropped, and then it's back. So I'm really glad to see it. When I say, man, I'm glad to see Sith back, I was a Sith.
It was funny because once you dropped it, nobody had it for a little while. And I had actually went back out of EXC and went back and took over the admiralship of Sith. And it wasn't Sith at that point, but I ended up checking it and changing it, and sure enough, there it was. And that very same night, I got my base raided by somebody in EMC.
Oh, really?
and I decided to take on a one-day crusade.
You too, huh? Yeah.
And then,
I think everybody's had that, oh my gosh, I hate Roe, and I know who loves Roe, and I'm going to go kill all their miners. So
there was a 3 or 4 day period there, and I think I killed about 700 ships.
I thought I was bad. I know I killed over 100 in a night, and then I got over it. Or I got bored, basically.
And then I got over it.
Yeah.
And then I went back to EXC. And they were kind enough not to hunt me down forever.
Well, that was before all this. Yeah, they've become more brutal in their punishments now.
Indeed.
More permanent. Maybe not more brutal, but more permanent, let's just say.
Yeah, you see that permanent KOS tag bounced around through in the chats every now and then nowadays.
Yeah, and I've been KOS by them recently, and while it is fun to watch your miners like in the IMDY days, it is it's not as fun as when you're not KOS by EMC and every alliance that is their friend is narking you out for your location.
The trick is to have no alliance, because then they can't tag you.
That's smart. Yeah, that is smart. We chose not to do that, and it was over. We call him Z or Sheezy. The guy doesn't even play the game anymore.
Oh, jeez.
Doesn't play the game anymore on our roster. Doesn't matter though. He'll admit he stopped playing months ago. He said, but
gotcha.
Oh man, finally he basically said, look, okay, you guys are getting killed. I'm gonna go ahead and quit for real, and left.
Okay.
But hey, yeah, it's not fun.
No, I wouldn't think so. Well, they got about 200 members just in EMC, and then about 3 or 4 other little groups that tag along with them.
Now here's what happened. It was only EMC and EMC2. What is that? Atlas and Reardon. They're the only ones who actively hit us, and it was only I'd say 10 guys who were consistent. And I mean, I threw 300 little miners at him one time. He hit my base once, and I was like, okay. Then he killed my miners, so I just he knew where my base was. I just started sending, my little Rialta and my little, whatever those little Fortunates.
The Fortunas.
The little Fortuna, Bib Fortunas. And, it's another Star Wars reference, right?
There you go.
Who is Bib Fortuna? That's a trivia question for everybody. Now, what was the name of that little monkey creature thing?
The Kowakian monkey lizard.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know if he has a real name.
Yeah,
I'm sure he does. He's got a name.
What a creepy little creature. Yeah, I didn't. But let me ask you some questions about Star Trek Fleet Command.
Sure.
You're in EXC right now.
I currently am, yes.
Well, when did you start playing Star Trek Fleet Command? And do you remember that first alliance you were in?
The first alliance, no, because it was just that random one with whatever they threw at you,
Yeah.
And then, but I first started playing would have been January of 19.
Okay.
So just a couple months after the game first kicked off. At that point, I had just stopped playing my Star Trek Commander or Star Wars Commander because that game got to be pay for play only.
Oh, and, good move coming here.
Well, yeah, right. And so I had actually picked up Star Trek Timelines. I was playing that for a while, which wasn't terrible, but there was not a lot of action in that game. So, funny enough, that game ran ads periodically while you were playing it. And this game, Star Trek Fleet Command, was one of the ads that it portrayed. And I'm like, hey, that game looks a lot fun. More fun than this one. So, downloaded it and, like I said, early January, you get through all that precursor stuff where you get up to, level like 10, 15 or something like that before you can attack people. And I was poking around a global chat one day and saw this guy, Darth Blaze, talking about Star Wars stuff. And I'm like, hey, that's where I belong. And so joined that Sith group. That was the second group I joined. So the first real group that I sought out. And was there for quite some time until they had the merger. They went through a couple mergers. And they did a merger with the remnants of MD for a little bit, but that was a hot mess. And everybody ended up going back. Well, most of us. And then the merger with EXC.
That's the one I remember. That's what I remember. Yeah.
But we lost a couple members with that IMDY group. A lot of players are familiar with Mistress or Mom or she's in I think Hunt nowadays.
She's wearing a 501st tag right now, right? Like a little something on her name.
Yes, she is. But anyway, she was one of the original members as well. And so she's still around, which is great to chat with her every now and then.
There was somebody else. There was somebody from Fury. Remember Queen Nefertiti? I think she was in Sith early. Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Remember talking to her about it.
For a while. Most of the folks that are in Sith nowadays were all original members.
Hey, she's cool, man. I'm friends with her on Instagram, and let me tell you,
there you go.
She's always on vacation.
Nice.
All the time.
Hey, when you can afford to travel, bro, that's the way to be.
Yeah. She's always got her feet up somewhere or the sunset. I'm jealous.
Nice. I only get to travel for work.
Yeah, same
and
here.
Cool places like Chicago.
Hey, Chicago. I've been to Chicago for vacation. My wife's a big hockey fan. She loves the Blackhawks. And
nice. Not a bad team to root for.
I don't know anything about hockey. It's like cold soccer with sticks.
Yes.
And so they were playing the New Jersey Devils, and we went for her birthday, and it was one of the best experiences I've ever had.
There you go.
Super cool. It was cold in there. The national anthem was sung by a World War II vet. It was
nice.
God, I have it on. I've recorded it, so maybe I'll put that on this video.
There you go.
But it was super cool. So I like Chicago, but
no, Chicago's not bad. It's very similar to home. I live in Detroit, or the outskirts thereof, and they're very similar Midwestern cities. We get a lot of weather changes and a lot of cold and a lot of water.
I have the opposite. I have a lot of heat, a lot of dry, a lot of dirt, a little bit of cold.
There you go. It's all good though, man.
I do believe in
what you know.
Yeah, I do believe in climate change because guess what? It snows every once in a while here now, and that's just weird. It's not global warming to me. It's global cooling.
There you go. Well, maybe.
Yeah, who knows? I don't know.
I want to say it doesn't snow as much as it used to.
It's coming down here. I'm getting it.
That's quite possible.
Well, what?
I wouldn't doubt that one bit.
I get some of it. Well, what is your personal code of ethics in the game?
Oh, currently, I've just been following regular row. Don't hit anybody unless they're overloaded. Don't hit anybody unless they're on a zero node. I don't warn anybody. It's not my job to watch your ship. If you're not watching it, that's too bad for you. That's about it nowadays. Back in the day, though, everything was fair game. I kind of miss those days. There was no row. You wanted a node, you had to fight for it. That was great.
Some of these guys don't know what we went through back in 2019. Early 2019 was a Wild West show.
It totally was. It was awesome, though. That's when we came up with that 501st plan. That the idea was you fly all your ships into a system, and everybody could read that tag, and they knew they're either going to get wiped out or had to flee. It was great. I'd pop my ships into a system, and everybody would leave. It was awesome.
You had a reputation, the Empire, right?
Indeed, but nowadays I'm just a lowly 34, which ain't nothing. My best ships are roughly 2 million, and that don't happen nowadays.
Look, I'm a 39. I'm the weakest 39 of all time. Because all I cared about was getting to 39. That's it. And now I can sit here and build my ships.
That was part of my gameplay. Was because this game is it's open ended, and as far as what you can kind of do, as far as playing the game itself, you got the missions, you got the the systems you can explore, and then but there's no real end game to this. There's no final. Hey, you've finished the game. There's no final boss.
Yeah.
And so way back when I first started playing this, I put a final boss, just personal final boss, was just to get the Enterprise. And so late last year, I actually completed that quest.
That was my goal too.
And and I think that might have been true for a lot of players. And then they came out with the other Enterprises and all the skins, and it really changed a lot of how this game was played when they opened it up for higher levels beyond what anybody that's free to play can even dream to accomplish. And so I don't know, as far as how long the game will go on, with free to play, I doubt it'll be much longer.
Yeah, it's really tough, man. I just found out that a 59 can hit a 39. That's the lowest a 59 can hit.
Dude, that's brutal. That's just brutal. That's like hitting a 15 if you're a 30.
Yeah. It's like
not much different.
140 million power ship can hit my 2.4 million power Enterprise.
There you go. It's like swatting flies, man.
Just stay under the radar, man. That's my thing.
So as far as personal code of ethics, back to your question there, I just stay under the radar. I do my missions, do some of the daily work, log in, collect the what I can, help the Alliance get their daily stuff done, whatever it might be. Run some armadas here and there, and just try to keep my nose clean for the most part. But I yearn for them days when there was no code of ethics.
It was Scopely Row.
It was. The row didn't exist. It wasn't even a. It wasn't a term. If you wanted a node, you scrapped out for it.
You just got it.
You wanted to play a mission. There was players that used to sit on a mission, because everybody had to do missions back then. Nobody does missions now until they launch. So everybody would be pulling missions, and there would be a node, or not a node, or just a random star point that you had to travel to.
Yep.
And everybody had to travel there. And you'd have players that would sit there and just whack people flying into the system to complete their missions. And you get some of the funniest mail.
Well, now that you mention that, what's the best hate mail you've received from that time?
Oh, dude. So I've been called everything under the sun by, I hope you die, and you're just it's just terrible stuff, and just because I, whacked a pixel ship.
One guy told me I had no class because I hit his ship.
Oh.
And I thought, wow, that hurt.
So, I can probably go back. I'm sure I got some screenshots, some of my fan mail. And but yeah, it's some real brutal stuff, and some people just back in the day it used to be a lot worse as far as what people used to say. But I think a lot of people either got just stopped playing, or got banned for some hate speech. I know a few players that did for sure, and so they kind of clean up their act a little bit. But as far as myself sending out anything like that, I always try to keep it classy. Send out some pretty good. Sorry, your vehicle was parked in no parking zone message.
You've been towed.
So stuff like that. That was always fun.
Well, you kind of answered my next question. I don't know, maybe you have premonition. You talked about row, but what is row to you? And I guess if you were going to change something, what would it be?
I would totally get rid of row. Absolutely. I would get rid of row and get rid of being mad about somebody breaking row. Because if you hurt somebody's little minor ship and now now they call down their whole alliance, on your entire alliance because you popped a minor. My gosh, get over it. But, I would absolutely get rid of row if I could change something. It only helps the big people. That's the bigger you are, the more it helps you. That's how I see it. Sure, okay, a little guy can, claim row and he's not going to get popped, but there's always somewhere you can mine. You can always scrap over something if you really need to. And that's how it was back in the day. And I enjoyed the game more when row didn't exist.
I enjoyed when the strongest ship was a Kumari.
Yes, indeed. Our little Sith group used to get into entanglements all the time with that power trio of EXC, Fury, and what's the other guys? KH. Was it KH?
At one time it was GOT, KH, EXC, and Fury.
Yes. So that little group, that little family that they had back in the day, that was always a good entanglement. And we had this one time we were all up in Medua like we used to be, and they brought in a fleet of those. And I think like the strongest one was like 200 and something K, And we didn't know what to do about it.
Well, that was a lot of power back then.
Indeed.
You bring up a good point. Power levels jumped one time. Remember that? Like overnight, they just made all of our ships stronger by
Yes.
And then it was weird. I don't know why, but they did it.
Yeah, they did some weird stuff along the way. With this game, the power levels, the way the bases react to being attacked.
Oh man, don't get me
You know,
started.
timers.
Don't get
You know,
me
you used to have
started.
to- what's that?
Don't get me started on that, man. Those stupid miners.
Yeah.
I blew up so many envoys on bases.
You had to repair those bad boys, and
Yeah.
you'd hope your envoy made it through, and he'd have a sliver of health left, and you could get away with something.
Yeah. They don't know what they have now. Like, oh,
No,
someone
they have
cracked
no
a base
clue.
for me, and I just go and eat for free.
Yes. No, I used to have to raid with my little jelly. I never got the big jelly, but I got the little jelly, and that was my base cracker. That was my raider. I would drain bases. It'd take me hours to drain with a jellyfish because the miners wouldn't cut it. They couldn't break through that last little defense line.
Mine was the North Star.
Oh, the North Star, yes.
And I put everything I had into that North Star. So I had a maxed North Star, which was in that time 300, I think.
Sure, yeah.
Now it's over 400 since the power boost. But yeah, think about how long that took, man, with that little payload.
You know, I got a North Star. Let me see.
I think
Where
it's
is my
over
North
400.
Star currently at?
I've got a maxed one again. I scrapped it and then I felt bad, so I built another one. I got good stuff for it. I'll tell you, lots of 3-star.
Currently 292.
Oh man, get that baby max so you can get like 4,000 in your cargo.
You know, it don't hold much, that's for sure. Oh, that's funny.
So, what do you think about territory space? Do you guys have a territory?
Yeah. I think they currently do.
You don't go down there, do you? You don't even go down there.
You know, I go down there every now and then. You know, when I say every now and then, I took a break from the game for a bit, about mid-December, and just recently got back in. Not much with the game has changed, but yeah, we currently got a space down there. And, you know, you go down there, and I actually like it, because you get a lot of free cargo. People that are mining down in territory space tend to forget about their stuff.
Oh, you're like me. You like to eat there.
That's all I do down there is just eat.
Yeah, pretty good restaurant.
Yeah, it's not bad, you know, because you know, there's a bunch of 3-stars down, you know, spots down there, and there's even a few 4-stars that they still tend to overload. And you know, you'd think they'd know better, but you know, I've gone through there and got quite a load quite a few times.
I say it almost every interview is EK, good job. Lots of OPC. I love you.
Lots of PC. Those guys are great.
Sloppy, lazy miners. I love you.
Keep it up. You know what? I'm going to send a ship there right now.
Yeah, go EK.
There we go. And off he goes.
Yeah. You do it enough and they have ships there ready to chase you away.
You know, we'll see what happens shortly. But I got 5 minutes to chop time.
It's so far down there. That's what I don't like. It's so far.
Yeah, I'm currently based all the way up in Fed Space, up in Sinister.
Oh, yay.
That's a nice little system.
That is that Latinum?
Yes.
Yeah, I was just there. I don't know where I am now.
And it's right next to a nice 3-star system for the gas, so it's not a bad system.
I'm up in Romulan space, up in those 30s where there's I think it's Robiton or something like that.
There you are.
It's a little Latinum place next to some ore, you know.
We got you guys there currently.
Oh, they're just sitting there OPC, aren't they?
No. I mean, we got a few guys in the system with their bases.
Okay, good.
There you go. Hopefully, they keep an eye on you.
Yeah,
Not a bad get.
I like that system. If my shield is down, feel free to take whatever you want because there's nothing there. When my shield is down, there's nothing.
You know, it's funny because I took a break from, like I was saying, from the game. The base got raided. I'm like, okay, whatever, fine. I don't need to bubble up. I put my base out in the middle of nowhere in some little level 1 system, and I sat there for a while. And then, so like I said, just recently I picked the game back up and moved my base over to a regular system, was doing some raiding, upgraded some stuff. Noticed that we had an event going on that said, hey, if you get some officer shards, you win some freebies, Like, yeah, great, here you go. Got me a mission that had 4 Kirks. I'm like, perfect. And I tapped that bad boy, and lo and behold, it gives me 45 million blue.
What?
I don't know what the mission was. Didn't pay attention to the reward, but the reward was 4 Kirks and 45 million blue.
Yeah. Well, guess what?
So
Good luck getting rid of that.
Now I got a shield. I've been unshielded for 5 months.
Oh my gosh, I hate it when that. It was all those. It was probably those missions where you kill the whatever. You have to kill 10 level 29s, and then the next one is kill this officer, kill this one guy, and ugh.
No idea what this was. I just saw the 4 free Kirks, and I'm like, all right, I'll get my daily event thing, and I'm like, oh hell.
Well, did you get into the TOS crew, the TOS Kirk and those guys?
I got a few of them.
They're kind of PvP-ish.
I got a few of those guys, but nothing worth putting on a ship.
Yeah.
I don't have they're not strong enough for me. They're not even strong enough to go lower crew.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to get those. Like, I'm one away from Tasha Yar, and I've been one away for a long time. A long time.
There you go. Yeah, like I said, I just kind of, maybe I got 1 or 2 of these guys. Let's see. Yeah, I got Kirk. His whole power 576.
Oh well, he's a baby.
Everybody's like level 1.
He's a baby.
I got Chekhov and Sulu and McCoy, and that's it.
McCoy's good. I like McCoy because I'm not a big PvPer. I'll kill your miners if I get mad at you. I'll kill whatever ships I can kill, but usually I'm mining and talking trash on Galaxy Chat.
That's always fun.
I have to slow down. I have to slow down because I keep offending people accidentally, and I don't mean it. I mean to annoy you. I don't mean to make you think. Yeah, I don't mean to think that I'm Putin or something. Like, no, I'm making fun of you. I'm not invading your country. Okay, so there's my little rant about Galaxy Chat. Well, you're in EXC right now.
I am currently, yes.
And you're with my boy Emmett over there.
Okay.
I like that guy.
There's a lot of good people over there, actually.
Well, tell me, because some people think I don't like EXC. I like EXC. They don't like me. That's the problem.
Yeah.
What's good about EXC? It's a pretty good family, huh?
Yeah, no, they're not bad. They got a good group, a nice core group. They tend to finish top 10 in just about every event. Usually, they're usually ranked around, anywhere between 5 and 8 or so, which is decent, considering the personnel is down about 20 peeps. They still got room for.
I was going to say, they don't usually max out. For the longest time, they were super powerful, and they weren't maxed out. And,
I want to say they're still right there.
Yeah.
Going and looking at the power rankings, currently 9th.
Yeah.
Which ain't too bad. That's 52 players out of 77. So, not bad. Not bad at all.
So if a new person was to start and if somehow we could find out they're not an alt, like, who cares? a level 9
people
says, yeah. Let me tell you, I'm basically out of the alt game. This whole thing about me having multiples, they're all gone.
I never quite understood the whole drive to have an alt. I can barely keep up one account.
Let's say a level 14 that we don't think is an alt. Why should they join EXC?
Well, they're going to get a lot of alliance rewards, and that's going to build them up quick. They're going to get a lot of ability to join in, like, ratings for base rating. That's a thing. We'll get together and there'll be 5-6 people raiding a base, and we'll come across something that's, if it's going to take you more than 10-15 minutes to clear out by yourself, they're sharing it. Everybody's involved. Everybody can get in. It's going to be posted in the group chat, and if you can get a ship there, you're welcome to feed. So you're not going to be short on materials. Sometimes when you're building stuff and you're like, hey, I need a upgrade, or I need to do this, that's not going to be a problem. The other thing is, it's a good group of people. There's always somebody on. So if your base is getting raided, there's a good possibility that somebody's going to catch it and alert everybody. EXC uses a Discord. They post on there when you're, if you need help, you post it. If, your base is getting raided, there's, EXC's got friends too. They'll send anybody that's active a message. Hey,
come help.
They definitely pull that card.
Probably a lot of armadas too.
Oh yeah, they're actually. I'm watching it go through right now. They're running Epic's Dirty Joe's running an Epic right now. Epic 35 Armada.
Oh, that's good.
So if you pick there, you're gonna get some rewards. It's exchange vault armadas, but nonetheless, they run all that. Rares, epics, all the time. Just about every day. Not just at night. Evil will be on in the morning. He's more than happy to run them. And actually running stuff with Evil is pretty cool because he can tackle all kinds of big, heavy, nasty stuff, and you just reap the rewards. That's pretty cool.
That's helpful.
Without a doubt.
That's a big deal. Yeah.
When I joined in, I ran a lot of armadas with Evil, and it would just be me and him. And so, based on the way armadas work, whoever is running the armada gets the bonus package, and then there's a mystery, player that gets a bonus package too. And so if there's only 2 players, you each get one.
Oh, that's good.
So, there's multiple times I've ran an armada with them, and, just one armada gets me enough to open a big crate, which is nice.
Well, don't level up anymore. Just trust me. It gets worse. Like, the levels, this little rush to get to 39 has taught me some lessons, like tough lessons. Like, I need a lot more credits from an armada to open a crate. A lot more.
There you go. Okay.
So stay where you're at. Level that.
Run some with Evil, man. He'll hook you up.
Yeah. Level that enterprise up. Well, see, there you go. Everybody, if you want to get in a great alliance, you hear it from an actual member right now, EXC. What are they called? The Unforgiven?
Unforgiven, yep. Just like the Metallica song there.
Well, what did they do that they need to be forgiven for?
Oh, I don't know. Just everything, just about.
Are they like...
At one point or another, we've been involved in something nefarious.
Yes, I knew something was up. See, you're not totally innocent, guys, so don't act like I'm the bad guy. We were talking about joining like the best alliance in your opinion.
Yeah.
So, is that your favorite alliance?
They're a good group, but I miss the old Sith Alliance when we were on top of our game. So as far as favorite of what I've ever been in, that would have to be the favorite. When we were I was recruiting every day, and that alliance was growing. When everybody was donating, we were growing like crazy, and that was some good times. I really cut back on my gameplay after I joined over on EXC. But they're a good group, and absolutely would recommend if you're going to be active, join them. Join them, absolutely.
Now, let's say you had a least favorite alliance. What would that be?
So it all depends on the time frame. Least favorite now, or least favorite when I was more active. So now, now would probably be EMC.
Oh my gosh! How dare you say that?
I know, right? Shocking.
Yeah.
They're the proponents of Row, and that's my least favorite thing about the game. So
that makes sense.
There you go.
Say you don't like Row, you don't like the guys who enforce Row.
Enforce it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I will say this: they do say that Row only affects their 2 alliances.
Yeah. Well, whatever.
Okay, so that's your least favorite.
Their 2 alliances and all their little cronies.
Well, why do you play the game still? What made you come back?
It's the chat with the team members. this actually your little interviews are pretty entertaining, and some of these guys that you've chatted with over the last couple months, it's entertaining to get a good perspective, other people's perspectives of the game, and it's like, I didn't think about that. Maybe I try playing that way, stuff like that. Just to chat more or less. It's a good time killer. My job has a lot of downtime. So, you hop on here and there, you do a couple of things, you send a miner out, you blow up a ship or two, and you go back to the job. It's not bad. It's a good time killer game.
I agree. I really do. Well, if you could change one thing about this game, what would it be? And if you say row...
No, we'll go down a different road.
Okay.
If I could change something about the game, it would be the range that you can attack somebody.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's too big.
Good answer.
Some of these, instead of being level, it should be based on power. If your power is, 2 million and, you're because of level, it allows you to attack somebody that's, 2,500, that just makes the game unfair. That's the way it is.
I'm a 39, and I think I can hit like a 25. They're not ready for that.
They're not ready for that.
No. Their best ship is a Kumari, and it's probably not totally upgraded yet because they just got it, one level ago.
No, exactly. If you can one-shot a base that has fully loaded ships, there's a balance of power problem.
Yeah, that's a good point. I like that it should be power based instead of level based.
And I would say, because everybody's got a power. You can go into the game right now, and you can tap your little icon in the top left corner, and it tells you what your power is. And yes, it can change based on, what ships you have or this or that, but getting rid of something isn't going to change your power all that much.
No.
So there's, you can have a gray area. Sure, why not? But, right now I look at my power and I'm just under 10 million,
Now see, look, this is how weak I am. I'm just over 15 million and I'm a 39. I'm a weak 39.
So it's one of those things. That's what I would change.
I like that.
I would change it based on power of who you can hit. Not level.
This is not Star Trek. This is Star Wars, and I think this is where you are happiest, is in Star Wars.
My forte.
Yeah. I think I know your favorite character, but what's your favorite Star Wars character and why?
So my favorite Star Wars character, up until recently, it was Boba Fett. And then, Fett was a badass, and he was only in it for the money. That was the whole idea. All the lore that surrounded what was out there said he was about the money. And then they came along with this Boba Fett TV show. And honest to God, he looks like a bumbling fool. And it just breaks my heart.
I've heard this where people thought, look, man, we were expecting Boba Fett and we got this. The real Boba Fett story that everyone likes now is The Mandalorian.
Is the Mandalorian.
That's
the Mandalorian.
More of Boba Fett than Boba Fett.
Without a doubt, he kicks ass. And I don't know if it's... and then the funny part is it's all directed and written by, the same guys.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, why is it like this?
Did someone bully them when they were a kid?
I don't want to give a bunch of spoilers out because I know there's some peeps who haven't been able to, gather up the time to watch those shows.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
But there's a couple episodes that you really just shake your head at, and you're like, Boba Fett would never do that. So, but I dig the Mandalorian. He's got some quirks that make you shake your head as well. And I think they're a work in progress, both of them shows. And if continue on with more seasons. Hopefully they get better. But yeah, I would have to say Fett, followed by Vader, because Vader's just a badass. There's nothing better than a scene where Vader's whipping around with a lightsaber, taking heads. And if you caught Rogue One, at the end of that movie, there's a scene where it's just probably the baddest ass Star Wars bad guy scene ever.
Be careful not to choke on your aspirations, Director.
And I absolutely recommend watching that movie, if not just for that scene.
I know what you're talking about. It's a cool Darth Vader scene.
It's a cool Darth Vader scene.
It's straight up Darth Vader, like, he's
being
evil.
a Sith Lord.
Yes. Yeah.
It's everything you ever wanted Vader to be.
So if you had a lightsaber, let's say you had a lightsaber, what
Sure.
color? What color is your kyber crystal? What color is your blade?
What color is my blade? Let's see. It'd probably be yellow.
Oh, really?
It would be. I'm inherently a good person.
And is that the Jedi Guardian? Is that what that is?
I would think so.
Yeah.
If I was to follow along with the traditional, scope of things, but to look badass, I want a red one.
Yeah, I think
If I'm asking for one, I'm asking for a red one.
Well, here's the difference. If you're just like melting through a door with it, you probably want a green or a blue one. But if you're standing in a dark hallway and you're going to ignite your lightsaber, it better be red.
I want it red.
It's got to be red.
I want it red.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
If your boss is talking too much and doubting your Sith religion, maybe just squeeze his throat a little bit,
Yes, indeed. It was funny, back in the day when I actually used to visit my office before Corona. I hung up a bunch of posters. They're all Sith posters. Had the Sith Creed and stuff at the office there. It's kind of nice.
Now, you have a lot of Star Wars figures, ships, things like that, right?
Dude, I got a ton of everything. A lifelong Star Wars fan. So grew up in the late 70s, early 80s. Got a good collection of all that stuff. Posters, action figures, ships, toys, Legos, T-shirts. Hell, I'm wearing a Boba Fett shirt as we speak.
You didn't get that Lego Death Star, did you?
I did not.
That thing is expensive.
Dude, it's cool, but I got nowhere to display that.
If it rolls off, you're done.
It's toast.
It's like Luke got it or something.
No, I got a few Legos. Unfortunately, I probably got a few more that have been put together. The kids have played with, and are now in the bucket along with all the other 400 million Lego pieces we have.
Good luck finding them, putting them back together.
You'll never find those again. If you put that shit back together, it's going to look like a junkyard ship. Well, you're going to be wrong.
Well, what is your favorite figure, ship thing that you have in your collection?
My goodness. So I have on my personal truck a Star Wars license plate, and no one else can get that until I stop renewing it.
Really?
So it's in mine alone.
So it's a pretty popular saying then.
Well, it's just one of those things. It's my license. It's a personalized plate. It's on my car. Nobody else can have it.
Good luck, right?
So like I said, the only way someone's going to get it is if I don't renew it. And
don't tell us what it is, but I bet it's like Sith or.
It's flat out Star Wars.
Is it really?
3D, but yeah, it's there. It's mine. That's probably my favorite one because I show it off to everybody when I drive around. Everybody sees it.
Well, you know what you're a fan of.
So there's that. As far as like an actual Star Wars item, because that's a It's not a Star Wars, quote unquote, Lucas Arts type or Disney, whatever you want to call them now, item. But as far as an actual piece, I have to really think about it because I got so much. I have a whole collection of the Star Wars collectible card game from the mid-90s. I was big into that card game back then. It's kind of like Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh! Or whatever, Magic the Gathering. They had a whole gaming system, just like any of those. And I have a collection of those cards that's probably worth a lot of money if I was to sell them.
But you're not selling them.
I probably would never sell them. I ain't touched them in probably 10 years.
You probably should. You probably should sell them.
I probably should sell them. I agree. I gotta get them up on eBay, maybe make some money. But then again, they've recently changed eBay laws. I got to pay taxes on that stuff. So.
Well, I mean, you're talking to a guy who spent $75 on a Biff Yeager card. So don't take my word for anything.
Yeah, I do have a talking Boba Fett 12-inch action figure doll thing. He's pretty cool.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. You push a little button on his back, and he gives you one of his 5 original movie lines. That's kind of neat. I like that guy.
I just remember, I guess it was Empire, and the famous Darth Vader line where it's like, "No disintegrations."
Yes.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, he didn't have too many lines back in the day. Now he takes his helmet off every other 3 seconds. It's kind of, like I said, I'm disappointed in the Boba Fett show.
He wasn't a real Mandalorian, right?
Well, so here's the thing about the lore of being Mandalorian is that you were just adopted into the lifestyle. So when you say a real Mandalorian, that's not true because he was a Mandalorian. He lived that lifestyle. He wore his father's armor. That's the whole thing. Is he from Mandalore? Not according to the movies. The Mandalore was a planet, but anybody could be Mandalorian. So, is he Mandalorian? I think so.
If anybody's going to know, it's going to be you. Out of the people I know, it's going to be you.
There you go.
Here's a yes or no question. Is Mace Windu still alive?
No, he's dead.
Fried.
Well, they tossed him out a window. He was about 400 stories up, so...
I think he got electrocuted, right? So...
Yeah, well, he gets zapped out the window by the Emperor. Well, that would have been episode 3, so I don't remember the last time I saw that. Because they were supposed to re-show all the movies at the IMAX theaters. And I had taken one of my kids to go see The Phantom Menace at the IMAX. That was when they were new, and it was fantastic. And they were supposed to show the other 2, and then Disney bought them out, and that was the end of it.
Well, I remember seeing Phantom Menace. Me and my 2 buddies who we just ran around together. Whatever timeline that was, we were that age. And we went to the theater during the day, and we were going to buy tickets for tomorrow. We're not going to get in, man. We're not going to. This is the first showing coming up here. As people dress like Star Wars figures around the building. and
They did indeed.
Yeah. And we rolled up there and we're like, hey, we would like to get some, buy tickets for, whatever available showing you have. And there, she says, well, you can watch this first showing. And I was like, what? Somehow we got to the line and we thought, okay, well, it's packed. There's no way. And she goes, yeah, I can get you in right now. And we're like, it's starting right now. And so what the heck? We ran in and we saw it the first showing. So we were all excited and I liked it.
It wasn't bad.
People don't like Jar Jar Binks. Whatever. I thought he was...
He was terrible.
He's funny. He's just a funny goofball.
Dude.
I had a Great Dane. And Jar Jar Binks reminds me of my Great Dane. Not smart, but loyal, Okay, so who's your favorite Jedi? So out of all these good guys, who's your favorite Jedi?
My favorite good guy Jedi. Okay, well, so if you're going off of just the movies.
No, man, you can go back to the Old Republic if you want. I don't know any of their names. You can just make up something.
So there's a Jedi by the name of Corran Horn, and he was a Corsac member. Corsac is the Corellian security forces, and he gets recruited by Luke after Return of the Jedi because he's force sensitive and whatnot, and he goes on to become a very powerful Jedi. And there's actually a book written specifically about him. It's called I, Jedi, and it's written by Michael Stockpool. Absolutely my favorite Star Wars novel, and does a great job of doing a first-person perspective of a Jedi and how they think and operate. I'd say Corran Horn.
Cool. That's somebody I've never heard of before. So that's awesome. Now I've got to research this.
There you go.
So we'll find out. I'll probably get that book.
Good book. It's one of the only, if not the only first-person perspective out of all the Star Wars novels, and there's a ton of them. I don't know how many if you ever got a chance to read through any of it, but I've read most of them. Spent a lot of time reading a lot of books, but it's what I love, so it's all good.
Yeah, it's your passion. It's your fun place, your happy place.
Yeah, absolutely.
I read things that were with pictures, so I'm a comic book guy. So graphic novels.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but I'm not going to read a Star Wars book before I read a graphic novel of Star Wars. That's just me.
Yeah. I
like the visuals.
So if you're going graphic novel, there's another series written by Timothy Zahn called Heir to the Empire.
Now is that right after? That's right after Return of the Jedi.
Yes.
Okay, I think I've read this. There's like 3 books of it.
Yes. Yep, it's a trilogy, and then they turned it into a graphic novel as well. Real dark, edgy artwork, really cool stuff. They did some foil covers on them, and if you got any of those, are worth some real money.
Well, I didn't have the foil covers, but I had the regular covers, and I loved it. This is where Luke kind of skated the dark side really close, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, Luke goes to the dark side.
Yeah.
And so, which is kind of funny because the newest movie that they came out with, there's a scene in that where Luke takes on a AT-AT Walker all by himself, and kind of just deflects the blast like nothing happens. And it's a direct pull straight out of one of those scenes in that book.
Well, those big, remember, I think they had big world destroyers or whatever. They had these big, they look kind of like what the, oh man. They were like big metal things that destroyed planets, right?
Well, they had, so in that series, they had a couple of different things that were world destroying. But what they did is they utilized these giant machines that were kind of like vacuums, basically, that would suck up raw material and then output robotic TIE fighters, I believe it was.
Oh yeah,
which is actually kind of neat theory if you follow anything that has self-replicating devices. What are they called? There's a term for it, and I can't think of what it is.
Like nanites, like nanite technology.
Yeah. Yep, and they self-replicate, and then it's machines that build machines, basically.
Skynet. Terminator.
2 points. Well, so Skynet's more of a that's on your Terminator side, of course, but that's more of a security force that builds itself.
Well,
I would do this.
So how about this?
Machine building games.
Like Cylons.
Yes.
Battlestar Galactica. Like Cylons. They're building. They're robots. They're building robots. I don't know. I remember what you're talking about. They even had an updated X-Wing there was another Republic fighter too.
So a lot of those comics, as they went along, it was, or whether they're the comics or the novels or either way, because the comics are kind of just drawn straight from the novels, and so they did a pretty good job of just showing you what the books were trying to portray. Especially in like that Heir to the Empire. There's a whole series called X-Wing, which is actually pretty cool too. If you like Starfighter stuff and not just necessarily Star Wars, that's a good series as well. Because it follows the Rogue Squadron group.
Oh, that's good.
So and it's actually, I think that one's like 10 or 12 books in that series. And so it leads you through the fall of the rest of the Empire after the Emperor dies, and how the rebels actually take over and conquer the core worlds and stuff like that. And so that's actually pretty cool stuff, and how they relegate the Empire to just these small system where it doesn't totally die.
Now, what's his name, Grand Admiral Thrawn in this?
Well, he's in the Heir to the Empire. He's part of
that.
Yeah,
that's what I remember.
So as he comes back to regain power, because of the vacuum created by the rebels killing off so many of their, the imperial, high command. With Vader gone and the Emperor gone, a lot of the governors turn on each other for a vacuum or for power, and eventually, somebody's got to fill that void.
Mm.
And Thrawn, based on what his mission was, is returning at that point to find a vacuum and space there within the power rankings of the Empire, and does his best to fulfill said vacuum.
I liked him. He was kind of a mysterious character in those books.
Yeah, they did a pretty good job. Though that's all written by Timothy Zahn. If you read any of his stuff, he's got some really good sci-fi stuff. Not just Star Wars. He's got some other sci-fi that's actually really good. As far as writers go, I like reading his stuff.
I've heard that name before. I don't. My wife reads a lot of different genres, but when we met, she had a ton of Star Wars novels.
Okay.
And I was like, wow, this is a big plus. like this is a big plus.
Bonus.
Yeah. So
put a ring on it.
Yeah, let's do this. Well, hey, look, we met, and 6 months later we were married.
There you go.
So it was.
You did.
I knew.
Yeah, you did.
I knew
Yeah, you did.
right away. As soon as she pulled out those Star Wars novels, I was like, "This is a nerd. I love her."
Nice.
Well, let me ask you this final question, and this isn't about the game. I'd prefer it if it's not about the game. It's about you. But if you died today, how would you like to be remembered?
Oh, how would I like to be remembered? It's funny you asked that, and it reminds me of Val's question, or Val's answer. Not at all was what he said, and
I didn't. Let me tell you. Let me interrupt you. I didn't like that answer.
I didn't like that answer. It's the opposite of what I would answer. I would answer, I want everybody to remember me always. It's one of those things. You think about, why was I here? What did I do? What did I accomplish? Well, I'm not somebody in celebrity or nothing, but I still want my family to remember who I was. You want your whether it's your parents, if you go before them, or your kids or your brothers, or just your friends or people you meet online. You want to make an impact on somebody, somehow or another. You want to say, hey, you know what? I knew this guy and he was cool. That's what I would say.
Well, I would agree with you. You're cool.
Well, thank you.
NaterFett, thanks for chilling with me.
Absolutely. Anytime.
Be careful not to choke on your aspirations, Director.